Why are houses in Albuquerque so cheap? Look, in today's video, guys, we're going to be going into this hot topic. I recently had a few clients just kind of start taking a look into what the real estate market is here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they can't believe what they're able to purchase for their budget. So hang tight, grab your pen and your pad, and let's get into today's video. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. My name is Eli, and if this is your first time tuning in to the Living in Albuquerque channel, welcome. Do yourself a huge favor and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys never miss out on any videos, because we are dropping videos every week talking about hot topics in real estate, what it's like living here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and some other fun things that you guys might find interesting, especially if you are planning on moving down here within the next couple of months. And I got to remind you guys that we are licensed brokers here in the state of New Mexico. So as much as I love doing these videos here, me and my team will love to hop on a quick Zoom call to just discuss all of this into great detail. So that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. If you do have any questions or you are planning on moving down here within the next couple of months, feel free to hit me up. I am the one that answers all the calls, texts, and emails, and I love to help you discover exactly what the next steps are to get you down here to Albuquerque, New Mexico. But into detail, guys, we are going to be going over some home prices, some areas to think about, and really just kind of go over the story of a few people that just recently moved down here and got an insight to what they can actually afford when it came down to it. That is, pretty cool to see when these people light up, given that they're coming from major cities and some other places around the United States where housing has just got crazy unaffordable. You're talking about $450,000 and $500,000 and up. Now, Albuquerque does have homes in that price range, but overall, we're looking at $350,000 and below. So why are houses so cheap in Albuquerque, New Mexico? Let's get right into it. We're back at the home base, guys, and I got a mess to clean up here in the past few weeks. You guys have kept us busy coming in from out of town, taking us, all over Albuquerque and parts of Rio Rancho to show you guys houses, which we're very thankful for. So thank you guys so much for allowing us to be able to help you do that. But I've gotten backtracked with my duties here at home. My garage office, which is the gym, and my little tiny desk has gotten out of hand. So I hope that during this video, if you guys don't mind, that I clean up some of this mess so I can work out. But anyways, guys, before we get into this part here, I want to talk about some numbers and some statistics that is going to help you guys with the plain view of everything that you're looking at, because numbers are important. I don't get super nerded out on them because they kind of are what they are, and I really can't change them. I can only kind of convey the message as far as what we're looking at. So in terms of what we're looking at, guys, this is how affordable Albuquerque is, and this is the essence of why it's so cheap. The numbers that we're looking at all across the board with places like Denver, Phoenix, and Austin, which are major competitors of ours. Austin, you're looking at $570,000 plus. It's pretty much the same out in Denver. And Phoenix, you're looking around $430,000 for the average price, in a house. Down here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, you've heard me say it so much, you're looking around $350,000, which is still pretty affordable, and homes are sitting on the market for around 30 days, which is, pretty normal. That's what we call a normalized market. There is still some houses that sit on the market for less than a week. So all depending on what area that you're in, guys, that's really going to indicate home prices. Keep in mind that the closer you live to the mountains, the closer you live to the river, and of course, the closer you live to the petroglyphs, you are going to pay a premium just for those areas because they have a ton to offer. You're looking at biking trails, hiking trails, beauty and nature, all that stuff, right? The landscape of where you're going to be living within those areas is really going to determine a lot for you guys, whether you're dealing with an HOA, home values, and just desirability of living within these few areas. Right, now that we got some of the numbers out of the way and getting some of these bikes out of the way, let's talk about appeal. Gosh, guys, man. Garage got out of hand, but the appeal of why people are moving here is going to be down to just a few key factors, and you're probably even considering this as part of your list. You're talking about 300 and some plus days of sunny weather. You're talking about all four seasons that are mild, so you are going to be able to still do your day-to-day activities, right? This past summer, I think the highest that we've seen as far as temperature goes was like 101. And it's been on and off throughout this monsoon season because during the day it's beautiful, and then at night it starts to rain and gets cloudy. Awesome weather, usually the typical weather that we'll see throughout the years here, especially during the summertime here. So you can have better weather than Phoenix. You're not going to be roasting outside as soon as you step outside, right? Client that came down just recently told us that in the morning at 8 o'clock, it was already 110 degrees, and it was making it super hard and difficult for them to breathe. So health concerns, right? That's going to be another big reason why people are moving here, because extreme temperatures like that are just a no-go. And the availability of healthcare down here just continues to grow. So a lot of people have hit me up on those kinds of things, asking me how close the hospitals are, how close the providers are going to be. And, it all depends, but in a nutshell, our healthcare system is pretty centrally located within the city. So whatever part of town you're living on, you're going to be able to get there within 15 to 20 minutes. So yeah, it's not going to be this 45-minute drive to your doctor visits every other day or Fridays or however you schedule your week out, guys, because we know that's important. And if it's important to you, I feel like it should be important to us. So we should be able to let you know what you're looking at, especially if you do have some medical things that you'd like to take care of. And always consult with your doctors before you move down here. Don't take my word for it. Ask them if living in our elevation and our type of climate is going to be beneficial to you guys. But another big reason, aside from home prices, aside from all that stuff, our city is still growing. There's still a ton of potential here. I like to tell people that our city pretty much started really kind of getting into the growing phase within the past 10 years. Within the past 10 years, you've really seen a lot of new builds start to ramp up, a lot of people moving out. The older generations that have been here forever are starting to sell off their homes and move off to other places like Florida because they think the beach is going to be a lot better than our desert oasis. And nothing against you Florida people, but I don't like dealing with hurricanes, and a lot of you people don't either, and that's why you hit us up, which is another thing on our list. Natural disasters. We don't deal with them here. They say that we have earthquakes, and maybe, I don't know, I've never felt one here before. Some parts of the state do deal with tornadoes and stuff like that. So if you are concerned about those kinds of things and you are planning on living outside of Albuquerque, on our Zoom call, we'll be gladly to answer those types of questions for you guys. But let me move this other bike because my pre-workout's starting to kick in, guys, and we're going to get to going here pretty soon. Now, home prices, appealingness of living here as far as like what we have to offer in terms of our climate and all that stuff is a good enough reason to move down here. But what about the economics? It's an important thing too. Is there work here? Is there jobs? Are you guys growing? Yes to all that. Our job growth has been steady, and it's been awesome to see it grow at a pretty slow pace. And a lot of people to be like, man, that's not good. I personally think it's awesome, especially for us New Mexicans that were born and raised here, because we love our city just the way that it is. Of course, some new things coming in and some things getting kind of revitalized and all that stuff and, made anew is also great. But it takes an outside perspective to be able to do that. It takes some outside resources to come in and just make our city a little bit more beautiful. So just as somebody who's a creative, doing videos, doing marketing and all that stuff, I see the potential of other people coming in and really bringing value to our city, because it takes an outside perspective, somebody that doesn't live here, that brings a different flair and a different taste to be able to provide that. Now, a few key things that you are going to notice as far as job growth, right, are cannabis, growth has been crazy. Dispensaries all over the place, grows everywhere. You are looking at Sandia Labs, Los Alamos Labs, just bringing in more people. I've heard Intel is really kind of ramping up their outside reach, so there's going to be a lot of those people coming in. And then you also have kind of your local service market, so more restaurants are popping up, more local spots, and not to mention that the way that the world works now with remote work, people are leaving their states where it costs them so much to live and moving down here and keeping their jobs and keeping the same pay, and really kind of, I wouldn't say cheat the system, but really making the most out of it. Because if you have remote work like my wife does, you don't necessarily need to live where you're currently at. You can kind of pick up, call Albuquerque home, still get the same pay. So if you're making an average of $120,000 where you live, and you move down here where the average pay is around $60,000, you've doubled your lifestyle. Now you can afford a little bit more house. You can start to save more money. You can afford more trips. Right. The possibilities are endless, guys. And this is not me trying to really sell you guys on moving down here, but I don't know. Doubling your lifestyle and your income and the way that you live and making the stress and the worry of bills just kind of disappear for a little bit. Doesn't that make sense to you guys? Would you do it? Now, with the affordability question, lingering, a lot of people are wondering if Albuquerque even has anything to offer because it's so affordable. There must not be anything out here for you guys. And I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. Albuquerque has a ton to offer. And I just recently had a conversation with somebody who was looking to move down here, and they said, sounds like Santa Fe has a lot more to offer as far as, amenities and all that stuff. And I kind of laughed. I didn't mean to do it in a mean way, but I let them know, like, hey, actually Albuquerque is a lot bigger and it has a lot more to offer in terms of amenities and, urban style of living. So you may want to reconsider where you're planning on moving if, doctor's visits are important to you and having a Costco like 5 minutes away from you is going to be a thing. So with that being said, a few misconceptions that I want to dispel, and that's going to be that Albuquerque isn't just a big desert area. We have mountain ranges, we have the bosque, we also have the petroglyphs, volcanic rock, and all that stuff. And with everything being super close to us, like 45 minutes away to an hour away, as far as like getting out into like the wilderness and being out in like mountain country, it's a no-brainer to live down here. We're so diverse in our landscape that even traveling down to the Rio Grande and the Bosque to just kind of enjoy that makes a ton of sense, guys, and it's free. And that's another thing, that people think that it's going to cost you a lot of money to do these kinds of things, but for the majority, I'm going to let you in on a secret. A lot of it is free. You're rarely going to pay to do these outdoor activities, so the only thing that you might pay a lot of money for is your outdoor gear, right? Because if you guys enjoy doing outdoor sports, you're going to understand that your gear is going to be the most expensive thing. But yeah, it's crazy to me that people think that. We have a ton to offer, guys. I mean, come and experience it for yourself. Alrighty, guys, this garage is starting to feel even better as soon as I move some things out of the way. I won't show you this corner here because this is kind of like, I got a few boxes here. I got a table that I got to get rid of. And really, it's become a bit of a dumping ground, unfortunately. But we're going to handle that today since we're off and we got some time to spare. And yeah, guys. And another thing that I want to bring up to you guys is the potential risks that you're running with moving down here. Not anything major, but I will say this. The longer you wait, the worse things are going to get. We're going into this position in the market where there's not a whole lot of homes out there, and prices are continuing to slowly increase because there isn't a whole lot of homes out there, and interest rates are starting to come down. So we've seen this recipe before. What's going to happen is only, going to be up to what the market wants to do. And this last year, or the last couple of years, we've seen this recipe come into play. Bidding wars, home prices just getting crazy hiked up. More buyers out there with no homes to purchase. Homes were selling within hours. Are we heading into that? Is that what we're potentially running the risk of doing again? And are you willing to go through that? Whatever your situation is at home, you may want to consider speeding it up. Because if you're sitting on the fence, especially if you're watching this video, you may run into some issues down the road here in a couple of months, just to be honest with you guys. I've been busy this whole summer. A lot of agents haven't. But it's because, again, I'm so thankful for you guys. You guys have been keeping us busy, and a lot of you guys have gotten ahead of the curve before having to deal with what's about to happen with lower interest rates. And they're set to drop in September. This isn't me. This is all over the news. Check CNBC, Yahoo Finance, and all that stuff. They're starting to see that inflation is starting to normalize, and the Fed said that they're not going to wait until they get down to 2% because a lot of Americans need some help. Maybe you need some help, and interest rates are holding you back. So if you're going to wait till interest rates drop here in the next 2 months and you're getting the conversation started today, I'm going to tell you that it's a perfect time because on average, it takes somebody more than 90 days to purchase a house. It's on average, right? With getting pre-approved, finding the house, and doing the deal. What you waiting for? Alrighty, guys, I've been blabbering off for way too long and I gotta start working out. So, before I end this video, I just really want to make it a point to really bring these key things to mind to you guys. And that's gonna be why. Why is it that you're moving down to Albuquerque? Why did you even stumble across my videos? And what big questions do you have in terms of pros and cons when it comes down to where you live versus to a southwest city like New Mexico? And really write it all down, because I can tell you this, from the conversations that we've had and the clients that we've been, really grateful to be able to help, they let us know that the pros definitely weigh out the cons, right? And with quality of life just getting better, right? Your health getting better because you're going to be spending more time outside with the amazing weather and climate that we have here and the diverse landscape that we have. For God's sakes, like, it's really sectioned off in three ways. You got the desert, you got the forest, the bosque, and then you got the mountain range. Who wouldn't want to live in an area that's like that? And people that do live in areas like that, in places like Utah, Denver, and all that stuff, have become so unaffordable that a lot of people just get discouraged. So I'm here to tell you first, you better get ahead of the ball before all this stuff happens and all these changes happen, because houses may be cheap now. And even though they're getting price cuts, right, over 100 plus houses getting price cuts and homes getting price cuts every day. As a matter of fact, more than 30 houses this morning got price cuts. So wouldn't you want to take advantage of that opportunity to be able to say, like, hey, I really like your house, seller. How can you help me purchase it? Whether it's a 2-1 buy down, whether it's money towards your closing costs, or just a decrease in price. That makes sense for you and makes sense for them. I don't know. There's a ton of scenarios and ton of things that we can go through. And please, please don't forget that Albuquerque is a big community and it's very welcoming. So if you feel like maybe I need more people around me, I need more friends groups, and I need to be able to find my place within a diverse group, I don't know, maybe you do underwater basket weaving. That's going to be the essence of what Albuquerque is because of our culture, right? The Native American and the Hispanic culture is really big on family and community. And I don't know what Instagram video or Pinterest post I ran across, but they said that the family that you build outside of your blood one is going to be way more important. And a lot of you understand that. So if you're interested in moving down here within the next couple of months, guys, and you have any questions, really, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. And I'd love to chat with you more about why Albuquerque could be beneficial to you versus where you're living, and really build out all of this for you, because it's just more than showing you a few houses and making something happen for you. It's really us getting involved in your story to see how we can help you out to make that dream possible. But I'm going to go and hit the weights. If there's anything I can do for you guys, feel free to hit us up. You guys have a good weekend. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.